It always is. There's always this natural letdown sometimes after you've played a set as competitive as this and as close as this in such a big match. So it'll be interesting to see how the next 5 minutes or so unfolds for Murray. I think his first service game is going to be vitally important. Just to maintain the momentum on serve. Keep that Scottish flag flying high. He's got to put that first set behind him now, he's Murray.
He doesn't sound Scottish. Fully behind Murray.
Second set. Murray to serve.
Will there be a response from Djokovic?
$15. 39.
Well, yet again, shot selection outstanding. What a question. The fact that Djokovic keeps approaching cross-court. That's why he's paid for those approaches so far. And I think that Murray's going to enjoy the fact that he's serving first in the second set. I think mentally it's a huge advantage just to have your nose continually out in front if you keep holding.
First game, second set.
It's an excellent start. And Murray leads 1-0.
Well, one of the reasons that Murray's been so successful in this match is that he's got himself involved in the vast majority of the points on Djokovic's serve. You can see how many returns he's putting back in play. Those are the red balls, and just 10 unreturned, the grey balls, out of a total of 55 points played on Djokovic's serve. And remember, Djokovic has got one of the best serves in the game. He's not used to seeing his serve come back so much.
And that's the pressure that Murray's able to exert on all of his opponents. It wears you down throughout the course of a match when you can't earn cheap points on your own deal. Are you expecting any changes from Djokovic from a tactical point of view here in the second set?
I'm not too sure. I don't think so. I think he's done everything pretty well so far. I think it's just a bit of fine-tuning in his game. I'd like to see him perhaps attack the Murray second serve a little bit more. He was pretty effective when coming forward to the net. It's a fine-tuning, nothing major. You can't keep coming in cross-court on the approach shot. You're going to pay the price. So I guess the question is, does he realize it? Is he going to be able to make those little adjustments that he needs to turn a losing set of 7-6 into a winning one?
30 all.
It's not like he lost the opening set 6-1 or 6-2. I think that's the point. It's important to stress. He hasn't been doing too much wrong.
Turning the clock back with the approach shot.
I'm loving that.
14-13.
Exactly what we were speaking about a little earlier. He's taking the approach shot down the line, and even more so with the slice. You can see it's so difficult to do anything with an approach like that. Even someone who's got passing shots as good as Murray, not able to respond.
Silky skills in the forecourt.
One game on.
Well, this is a good volley. A full stretch. To be able to control the racket head to hit a drop volley like that requires an enormous amount of feel control.
This is the area in which there is room for improvement. Returning Murray's serve, particularly the second. It's normally a real strength of Djokovic's and a weakness of Murray's.
15 love.
And again, for me, Robbie, that was just a nothing point. Didn't really go after the return. Didn't start it aggressively at all.
Yes, even if he loses the point, just send a message to Murray, because when it gets tight, you might just get a free point with a double fault. It's all about planting the seeds of doubt in your opponent's mind.
And on a scale of 1 to 100, Robbie, what would you give Murray as far as how well he's playing so far in the match?
I'd probably give him about an 85%.
So he's got a little bit of room to maneuver, but 85% is good going. Considering the enormity of the occasion
And the quality of the opponent.
15-13.
I'll put a lot of emphasis again on how well Murray's been thinking throughout the course of this match. It's been the difference between the two so far.
First break points of the match for Djokovic.
Shot selection again by Murray with the drop shot.
30-14.
Djokovic almost doing enough. Stretching Murray to come up with something special. Still some work to do though.
Yes, brilliant. Gutsy play.
Use.
Yeah, pulling the trigger at precisely the right moment. Good patience. A little bit short, and he knows that's his opportunity to win the point. Depth doing all the damage.
Challenge Mr. Murray, challenge the call. Left service line, ball is called out.
Djokovic suggesting that there's no need for the challenge. The ball was well in, is what he's just told the umpire. He's mistaken.
Second serve.
Just goes to show you.
Perhaps that was just a little bit of a mental game that he was playing with Murray. Perhaps.
Interesting.
Because you think you've won the point, and then your opponent's conceding it, all of a sudden you've got to come back and hit a second serve.
Psychological warfare of the very highest order. Great point. From nowhere, really. Murray implodes. There's a bunch of unforced errors. And Djokovic manages to break serve for the very first time in the match.
For me, it's impossible to have. We have to go with the system.
He's telling you the ball's in.
Maybe Djoko had the wrong mark. You never know.
No, it's only one mark there.
I think the fascinating thing about what happened in that previous game is if the opponent chooses to give you the point, and we see it occasionally on the tour, then it's accepted that that point is yours. So therefore, Murray's argument that he should have had the point, and it should have been his advantage and not Juice, and the challenge shouldn't have counted because it shouldn't have been needed at that stage because the point had been given to him. It's a strong argument.
I think it's a correct argument. We didn't need to go to the TMI once Djokovic had given him the point, so it's obviously got inside Andy's head, and that's why he's so upset about the situation.
I think it's probably the first time it's ever happened. It might have been a good idea for him to call the referee and get an official ruling on the situation, but then you're in the middle of a service game, you're at Juice, and you might not want the delay, so tough call.
It'll be interesting to hear what the ruling is about there from one of the supervisors. Murray's still going on about it.
The upshot of it all is that Murray did lose his serve, so it's Djokovic who has the early lead here in the second. 2-1.
Love 15. Love 13. House. 15-30.
Very important passage of play here. Crucial that Djokovic consolidates his position.
13-14.
He's had to work so hard for the break initially. This will frustrate him enormously. Saved a couple of break points in the opening set. Here's the third of the match for Murray. Intelligent tennis from Murray. Varying the pace and the spin on the ball. Terrific use of the slice backhand.
2 games on.
And we know the courts are playing a little quicker this week, so especially a good play. We really felt that it was such an important game for Murray. If he was able to break back, it would help put all the nonsense behind him to the back of his mind, and he could move on with this match now.
Very impressive, considering Djokovic had previously saved 16 of 19 break points throughout the course of the tournament up until that last one. So he's been tough to break.
You
get the feeling that Djokovic is on the brink here of getting really, really frustrated. Murray needs to make the most of it.
Short play.
13-15.
Even though he doesn't catch the return of serve, a little bit of a miss hit, but such a well-weighted lob.
Change up.
14-13.
It's the first time throughout the course of the match we've seen him really go after the second serve and look to come in behind it. Hey, dividends. See if he does it again.
Game third.
Nice recovery from Murray.
Murray is 3 games to 2.
And has responded in the best possible way to the loss of his service game 5 minutes or so ago. He leads 3-2. Well, this tournament is steeped in history. It was first played in 1899 on brick dust. And then they played on clay, switched to hard court in 1967. Then back to clay till 1973. They actually held the tournament indoors on a Supreme Court the following year in 1974. Back to a hard court the following season. It was then played on clay again from 1976 to 78. And since then, It's being played on this particular surface, Decker Turf 2, which of course is a similar court surface that they use the vast majority of the hard court events on the ATP Tour. There's been some truly great champions down the years, the likes of Ken Rosewall, Jimmy Connors, John McEnroe, Pete Sampras, and of course last year Roger Federer. This year, Andy Murray has put himself in an excellent position to beat Novak Djokovic. He leads by a set and 3-2.
15 love. 13 love.
Whichever player wins this afternoon, it will mean that history will be made. Djokovic will become the first Serbian ever to win this particular event. Murray, the first British winner.
14-15.
If you're a betting man, Robbie, who would your money be on at this stage?
Like Andy Murray's chances, I think everything this week is just conspiring to be in his favour. I think he's due. Today's going to be the day.
Okay, Djokovic.
But it's not going to be easy because Djokovic will sweat blood before he
3 games on.
gives up the chance of winning this title. Remember, he'd love to add this Master Series shield to his already impressive collection.
Hopefully they'll just be able to walk that off.
Okay.
15.
Didn't really go over on it, just caught it in time, but nevertheless, it's the last thing he needs at the moment. Doesn't seem to have been any harm done.
I do like the fact that you gave me the option of picking a winner when Murray was set to the good as well and midway through the second.
I would have been surprised if you'd gone with Djokovic. Still a lot of tennis to be played because not only does he have to get the better of his opponent, he's got to handle the situation as well. He's never won a Masters Series title before, so he's bound to get tight if he gets the opportunity to put the match to bed. And Djokovic knows that. That's why he's hanging in there and working so hard to try and put as much pressure as possible on Murray. It's a lovely shot.
Well, he picks off Murray nicely in this point. Not going for the power play. Heavy dipper, brushing up the back of the ball, imparting plenty of spin. That's what gives it the necessary dip.
40-30.
It's a lovely serve. Get a lot of help off the court here. That slider has worked so well for so many players this week.
And for Murray, throughout the course of the week, we've seen him use that serve so effectively.
It's only 109 miles an hour. So much slice on the ball. He's able to create such a wonderful angle.
Left for service.
And Murray is edging ever closer to the finish line. Leads by a set. It's finals day here in Cincinnati at the Western and Southern Financial Group Masters, the 7th Masters Series event of the 2008 season. Jason Blow alongside Robbie Koenig, thoroughly enjoying this match. Been on court now for an hour and 43 minutes. And for much of that time, there's been very little to choose between these two players. Murray played a much better tie-break though than Djokovic at the tail end of the first set. Had a little bit of a wobble at the beginning of the second set. Dropped his serve, but responded immediately by breaking back and has edged into the lead once more.
Tequila.
It's not the shot to play when you're 2 or 3 feet behind the baseline. It seems to me, Robbie, he just hasn't been as fluent in his stroke production today as he was yesterday. Well, of course, he was outstanding.
Yes, but I think that's a large part is due to the fact that Murray throws so many different looks at you, keeps him off guard. It's the tough thing about playing against Murray. And is it also partly due to the fact that yesterday so little expectation sitting on his shoulders, whereas today comes into this match as the favourite? Yes, that's an excellent point, and I think you're spot on there. Because I think he plays better when he's the underdog. Or when he's the favourite, he's definitely not the same style of player.
Every time. It's a beautiful stroke. Solid with that forehand cross court.
15-14.
Picking his favourite shot here. Loves to whip it cross court.
2 break points. He's done it. What a terrific guess from Murray. He's so tenacious, chasing everything down. So frustrating to play against.
Oh, what a superb athlete. We've said it time and time again.
The release line gives the break.
In the modern game, you have to be a great athlete to compete with the very best.
It's Murray now with an opportunity to serve for the match. It's an excellent start to the most important service game of his career so far.
15 love.
Well, it's so difficult not to think ahead at this stage of the match. Think about getting your hands on the trophy, what it means. First Master Series title.
What a time to throw in your first double fault in the match.
Glad to see he went with his favorite serve when the chips were down.
30-15.
You always find a bit of comfort in those moments, going with what's been working in the match.
He has served so intelligently this afternoon. Can you believe it?
Yes, I can.
Got to remain positive. He's got to keep believing. And he's got to remember he's just 2 points away from victory. Terrific ball striking from Djokovic. Courageous tennis when he needed it most.
13-14.
Sensing the moment that his opponent is a little vulnerable. It's a first serve on this side.
It's a brilliant serve.
Yeah, especially when you consider he served 2 doubles to that side already.
It would have been very easy just to roll that first serve in. Courageous to go and look for the cheap point. And he's done it again. And he wants his lucky ball.
Advantage Murray.
After an hour and 52 minutes, Murray stands at championship point. Thwarted by the net.
Advantage Murray.
But again, sensible serving means that he's got a chance to make amends here. Match point number 2.
just abandon. Figures it's now or never.
101 miles an hour, that last shot.
This time.
Advantage Murray.
Now. Is he going to be third time lucky?
Shot from Djokovic. Got to be kidding me. That drop shot kisses the net on the way over.
Deuce.
Out of nowhere. Murray would never have expected this. Look at that. Let cord and line. I tell you, Murray's heart rate has just increased by about another 30 beats per minute.
Serving so intelligently to the deuce court.
Advantage Murray.
I think he'd willingly give up all of his prize money this week for another one right here. It's a brilliant return. We haven't seen many of those in the match.
We were suggesting that he should be doing a little bit more of this early on in the match. Send a message to Murray. He's waited till right here at the end before finally doing it.
Against the wall, sometimes it's easier to be aggressive and let yourself go. That's exactly what Djokovic has been able to do in the latter stages of this game. And amazingly, after fending off 4 championship points, it's Djokovic with an opportunity to break. Suggested that Murray would get a little tight when he was within sight of the finish line, and so it's proved.
Murray
Back on serve, 5-4. I think it's imperative in situations like this, Robbie, just to glance up at the scoreboard. Before the match, if you'd said to Murray, we're going to give you the opening set, and we're going to have you on serve in the second, 5-4, would you accept that situation? Bite your hand off.
And that's just a great way of putting things into perspective, isn't it?
Time.
And these are the kind of mental games that you've got to play with yourself in situations like this. You've got to trick your mind, fill it with positive thoughts. And it's often easier said than done, but the great match players are able to do that.
Because what he's got to realize now is that Djokovic still has to hold serve here to stay in the match. It's a big responsibility.
Tequila.
Suddenly it's Djokovic who's winning these protracted baseline rallies.